baby. 3, 2, 1.
We have a situation down there. Some modern-day pirates have hijacked a huge cruiser. They're holding 2,000 hostages inside, including the president's daughter. We have to invade the ship, clear the pirates, and rescue the hostages, especially the president's daughter.
Hello guys, Junior back again. Well, this week we're gonna play Dynamite Deka 2 on the Dreamcast. I just received my new 480p Dreamcast SCAT cable from Retro Gaming Cables. Thanks very much, guys. And this picture looks pretty lovely on this Dreamcast now over SCAT, so I thought we'd review some Dreamcast games. The Dynamite Deka was beat 'em up originally in Japan. It did come to the West, and it was called the Dyad Arcade. Probably played it back in the day because I'd seen it in quite a few places. But this is the sequel to it, and they kept the Dynamite Deka again, Deka 2 name. So I don't think this ever got a UK release, an official UK release anyway. But say this is a two-player 3D beat 'em up by Sega, where you've got to save the president's daughter, and you jump on a ship, and eventually you kill a load of bad guys, the pirate guys, and then you get to an island and you fight them. The pirate guys is a little bit strange, as you might see in that intro, because the main guy got a conch shell on his head, as you see in the intro again. And some of the enemies are dressed up as crabs and various other things. Let's see why he's got a conch shell on his head as well. This is a two-player game, so you can have a bit of fun. The options on this Dreamcast one are all in Japanese, which is a bit of a shame because I don't know what any of the options are. But I think there's a two-player versus mode. You get the original arcade mode, and if you finish the game as well, you get to play an original 1980s Sega arcade game called Tranquilizer Gun, which is pretty much like a little maze game. You've got a guy going around and you're tranquilizing jungle creatures, lions, sort of like elephants and various other things, and you're taking them back to a truck. So it's pretty much a hunting game, an old hunting game the Sega made. But you get to play that, which is quite cool. But you've got to finish the game first to unlock it. So we'll start this up. Oh, I can't do that option. That unlocks once you've actually finished it. So let's start this up. You get a choice of 3 characters. We got Bruno, Gene, and Eddie. I quite like the Eddie character. He's a kickboxing guy, and his kicks are really good. I'm gonna use him. The original guy sort of almost looks like John McClane from Dyad Arcade. So you get to choose which section you want to actually start in. So we're gonna just start in mission 1. I think they're pretty much difficulties. You got to kill the actual the guy who's dressed up as a pirate. So in this game, you got your punch and kick, and you can jump and do attacks, but it's not particularly that useful with jump attack, to be honest. You pick up a lot of weapons. You pick up these power-ups, which I've got over there. You collect 5 of those power-ups, and then your kicks and punches get really powerful. So it's a good idea once you've knocked down the enemies and kill them to actually pick up all the power-ups. In between each section of the game, you get this little transition. Some of the transitions you can press buttons on to do different actions. If you miss those actions, you have to do that section of the game. But if you get the actions right, hey, it's like a Sega arcade game at it. You won't have to do that section of the game when you take an enemy out. You can do some. You can do some pretty cool things in this. Here's one of the turtle enemies. You can grab people on the floor and use them as weapons. You can pick up lots of different weapons in this game. My kick should be nice and powerful now. I got little sort of flames at the end of my kicks now. He does a massive combo. He's dead. You can pick up lots of different weapons. There are lots of different uses. You can use like brushes, and this is one. This is one of those sections where you've got to do a dodge, which I failed. Got a lot of weapons in this game. This is the most ridiculous weapon in the entire game. It's pretty much a nuke. And you've got this weird laser bear. That guy took pretty well. There's lots of things you can pick up. You can pick up some of the background objects and chuck them at enemies. You can pick up different weapons and throw them at enemies. You can slap at enemies with other enemies as well. Like I say, it's a full-on beat 'em up, so you can do a lot of grabs and stuff. There is quite a lot of moves in this game. I'll give it that. And there's lots of interesting things you can do with the backgrounds. These guys are quite tricky. See if I can do my special on him. This is not going well. I need to get out yet. You can also run in this game as well. Do like a run attack. If I can chuck a chair at him. Oh, it's a terrible end. Didn't even get past these guys. Some of the enemies are very strangely dressed in this game. Okay, do a nice power attack in. Yeah, so you basically get to wander around this ship. You get to beating people, a lot of people up. Different rooms. You get these little cutscenes. Why has he got a conch shell in his head? I don't know, he's very strange looking.
Where is that girl? Find her and bring her to me.
He is the last boss, by the way. I'm inside the ship now. Right, let's put some chairs at these people. And a table. Why not? Ah, yeah. Those poles like that guy got there are very useful to get. And get that off him. Good for attacking the multiple enemies at once. You can chuck plates of food at him as well. I'm sure sometimes though, this game, gameplay wise, it does sort of eat your input sometimes. Sometimes you can do really fast punches, and other times you just do one or two hits. Weird, I haven't quite worked out what it is. It's not like you've got a stamina bar or anything. I didn't pick it up. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why that is. Right, here we go, another one of these attacking things now. Can I get him? Failure. I never know quite which button to press. Oh, here we go. Now we're in the hairdressers. Oh, damn it. Check me. Try and check him. Ah, maybe not. I could have picked that enemy up then, he was on the floor. Like certain knockdowns, you can actually pick those enemies up. I got a big weapon now. Mash him to death. Oh, maybe not against the guy with the gun. Come on. See, variety is quite nice in the sort of the different moves and stuff you can do. I don't know whether I'm overly fussed on the sort of on a cruise ship type thing. Can I pick him up? Yeah, you can pick him up and sort of hit other enemies with him sometimes, which is quite funny. Alright, here we go. Press the one button now. Is that the right one? Yeah. I'd have to fight him in that room otherwise if I hadn't got that right. It's a bit weird, the more you get hit, the less clothes you wear in. Right, so let's go for the bread. Beat people to death with giant baguette. The axes are quite good. One more power up and I should get into powered mode. Here we go. I get over there. Big combos. Oh, guy with the swords. Kill the guy with the swords. Oh, NGB. Yeah, it's quite handy having that extra power up. Nice. You do nice big combos when you've got that power up. What we gonna do? Never get this one. Have I got it? It's really painful. Never get that. I'm not sure which button you gotta press to do that. He always catches his legs. Right, first boss. Bosses are quite tricky. Body rolls. Wait. See if I can catch him with a kick. The kick's actually becoming quite useful there. Wait. Ooh. Try to get away from him then. Away. Some power ups. Oh, you swine! I was going to chuck the barrel at you, man. Ah! Yeah, he's gone. One of the bosses on this as well, and I think the last boss on the cruise ship you fight is a giant octopus.
Haven't you found her yet?
Why has he got a conch shell on his head?
It's time.
So the graphics of this are very, it's very early 3D and it's very sort of like blocky. It is a Model 2 arcade game, after all. So the Model 2 is getting a little bit dated these days. The Dreamcast could definitely have done better graphics than this. But they were converting the arcade game, and they've done a pretty good job actually, because it looks pretty much like the arcade one. What I remember the arcade one anyway. Trying to get that gun. Oh, is that a big gun? Nice. Looks like a Punisher, that woman does, doesn't she? Come on, you're dead. The Punisher woman's dead. Yeah, I see graphics in this game are a little bit, like I said, a little bit on the old school side. Playability wise, it's okay. This is the next boss characters now. Two crab guys. But quite hard to beat. Hit him with a giant fish. At least I think it's a fish. Hit him when he's down. Oh, actually went pretty well killing them.
Let's go.
Help me!
Depending on which place you start, if he gets trapped or escapes in, she either gets captured or she basically different things happen to her. Bit. Oh, big rockets. Explosion is ridiculous. They survive it as well, that's the funniest thing. Oh, they're dead. Cool. Ah, here's the octopus boss. Boss is tricky. Ooh. I haven't really found a good way of doing it yet. Just moving around, I suppose, is probably the best way of doing it. Damn. Not quite a bit off him, a little bit stuck though. He will pick you up and throw you as well, this octopus. Ah. I think this is the best. I'd probably jump. Probably the best I've actually done on the octopus. Oh. Those little bastards. Those little things are really hard. My foot now. Move it. Oh, that did. Ah, nearly beat him as well. Oh well, guys, I'll end the review here because I don't want to carry on. This game is quite short as well. It can be beaten in probably about 20 minutes actually. If you get good at it, you can just rip through this game, get to the island, kill the last boss. So what I say for a Dreamcast game, it's quite crappy looking for a Dreamcast game. It wasn't a particularly... I suppose it was quite a nice looking arcade game at the time, but things have moved on by the time the Dreamcast came out and the Omi boards were around. It's not bad. It's a fun little game. It does have a lot of options when it comes to sort of attacking the enemies. There's loads of things you can pick up. It's 2-player. It's quite a good fun game. I wouldn't say it's a brilliant game though. I will say though I'm not massively into scroll-along beat-em-ups. I do like them though, but I'm not a massive fan of them. And what would I give this? I don't know. I think I'm gonna go for 6 out of 10. It's not an amazing game, but if you get a chance to pick it up for cheap on the Dreamcast and you just fancy, I don't know, just a little bit of sort of something unusual, something to sort of 3D beat 'em up. If you can get it for cheap, it's worth it. I wouldn't pay a lot of money for it. It does have some rather odd, like she looks like a moose. It's really weird. And why the main bad guy's got a conch shell on his head for, I have no idea. But it's a bit of a silly game, I suppose. But it's reasonably okay fun, but nothing special. So I'm gonna stick with the 6 out of 10. I think, guys, we're gonna go with that. And now we've got this cable going, and I've got a nice way to record Dreamcast games. I'll do some more Dreamcast games. So hope you enjoyed the review, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.